She case on my file till I compendium.
Starring Bing and Ben.
Stop!
If you don't laugh through this novel, you can only cry.
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to do like a what's up guys, it's Kicker or something?
No, I'm the reserved doctor who hates you. Or do I?
No, I think you really do. I think you hate me so much. I think I'm gonna make this my whole personality. I'm gonna hit you back even harder.
You wanna hate me so bad that you wanna like kiss me? What's up guys, it's Kicker. I'm here with my beautiful girlfriend Stitch, who has just finished reading the first volume of Casefile Compendium. And this danmei book club is a little bit different because I have actually read this book. I think I've read about half of the actual novel, so like I'm further than what the English official translation has come out, because I wanted to smell what Meat Bun was cooking. And we have a friend who's very passionate about these two, and she was very convincing.
And as you were reading, you told me all about it, so I had a weird sense of deja vu over like the whole book because I knew it was coming, but also was surprised by the sheer amount of stupid details that I missed during your read-through.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Stitch prepared a little PowerPoint, so we're gonna go through that.
Yep.
What case file? What compendium? First off, what is a compendium?
That's a big word for Omo. I did not know what a compendium was. I could kind of guess, but...
Is it like a dossier?
Which is another word I feel like I don't know. It's like a collection of information, kind of like a dictionary, but like not a dictionary. But it's like, yeah, collection.
Case file collection was too simple.
Yeah.
So we have the 7 C's description versus the original novel update description, which is very different. Just the language used for the very professional 7 C's description was: in this modern tale with a sci-fi edge, an elite young man with a dark side develops a deep, aggressive relationship with his former doctor. Wealthy and handsome, yet mentally unstable, Yu has returned home from overseas with one goal in mind: not to fuck the doctor, to win the heart of Shui, the girl of his dreams, and the doctor's sister. However, in his time away, he has nursed more than unrequited feelings. He must confront his long-held grudge against Shui's overprotective brother, Chung, who doesn't think Yu capable of love.
Okay. Your doctor just diagnoses you with like unlovable disease. Fuck.
But history is not easily rewritten, as Yu's former doctor, Chung, is the only person in the world who truly understands Yu's volatile mental illness. When the two are involved in an explosive incident, literally, that exposes a dark secret, Chung's suspicion about Yu are confirmed. What suspicions? That he is unlovable. Now Yu must confront his own demons. Homophobia, including his dark obsession with Chung.
I feel like confronting those demons in particular is probably not a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you become gay.
And then the novel update description,
right? Which was, originally attached to the fan translation. Despicable, insane gong, ex-paternal and indifferent divorce show. The story between a youth with a unique psychological disorder and an apathetic doctor. Yu returns to China to confess his feelings to his childhood friend Shui, but the brother of his childhood friend, Chung, who was his personal doctor during childhood, constantly stands in his way. The passage of time seems to remind him why he hated him so much since he was a child, but maybe he doesn't hate him as much as he thinks.
I feel like the 7 C's description was a bit convoluted. A convoluted case file compendium collection.
And this one's just like, heads up, this guy is despicable and insane, and he fucks hard.
Pretty much. Like, okay, if I were to succinctly tell someone what this is about, it's like, there's this guy and he literally has a disease where it's like, he can be fucking crazy. And that's a real thing in this world. Like, he has fucking crazy disease. But he's medicated.
Yeah.
And the doctor that took care of him when he was a kid It's like time has passed and he definitely like wants to fuck his doctor, but is so homophobic and is like, obviously I don't like him, but he thinks that he hates him because he was like abandoned. So you're dealing with that like, oh, I hate him because he abandoned me, but deep down,
like, I wish he didn't abandon me because I really like him.
yeah. And then it's like the doctor is very apathetic and sad and like divorced, but like, you know, deep down he has feelings for you. But you don't see any of that in volume 1.
Not at all.
It's mostly the hate. Oh, yes. So we've got the two characters here. Yu
Yep.
hates doctors, hates smoking, loves Shui, has feelings but represses them, 13 years younger than Chung, peer-reviewed bottom energy.
Yes, even though we already know that he's the top in the situation, I feel like he's kind of perceived as a bottom, and we learned this in canon in volume 1, that everyone on his campus is like, I'd top him.
Yes.
And like he's got like a good facade of an attitude, you know? Like he's not actually a nice person, but he's good at pretending to be nice.
Yes.
Unlike
Chung, who is a doctor, is a smoker, loves Shui, has one confirmed feeling, annoyance. Such an old man he won't drink coffee at night. Peer-reviewed top energy.
Yes, everyone on campus is like, I want him to fuck me so badly, it makes me stupid. Is that his destiny in this life?
No.
No, it is not. But one thing brings them together. One beautiful commonality that they share.
Yes. Being homophobic.
Both of these guys are mega homophobic. That is their whole personality.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
And yet...
There's even, like, a moment where he's like, is it not like, oh, like, you should wear my shirt? He's like, I'm not gonna wear another man's shirt. That's fucking gay.
It's so funny. That's, like, one of their... Okay, like, one of the first things they have together. Like, Chung is like, I don't want to do that. That's gay. And then Yu was like, if you're homophobic, I'm even more homophobic. Is something he literally says, which is hilarious to me. It's like a competition.
Yes.
That's gay.
It's like, what?
Since I'm doing mental gymnastics here, I'm gonna start by like trying to defend Yu a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he does have some legitimate basis for his homophobia. Because when he was a child, his mom accidentally traumatized him a little bit. Because when Chung came into his life as a doctor, she like teased Yu and put a weird story in his head that like, you know, if he didn't behave and like be nice to Chung, his mom tied like his already existing like fear and dislike of doctors with this kind of idea of humiliation and homosexuality by telling him that he would have to marry his doctor and his doctor would be his wife and he'd have to take care of him and support him, and I don't know. She just put that in his head, and he had that story in his head for months. That for some reason he would have to like marry Chung, and he really didn't want to because he didn't like doctors.
Yeah.
And he didn't understand that being gay was an option, and it was just weird. And like months later, his dad found out about it and was like, "What the hell? Like, stop that! You're traumatizing our child." And he remained traumatized ever since. So I think that's kind of why he is a little bit homophobic.
His mom implanted the idea that being gay is a humiliation that you are going to have to endure if you're not a good child.
Yes.
And because of that, he grew up fucking homophobic. Another kid gave him flowers at school that was a boy, and he broke his leg because he was like, that's so gay.
Yeah.
So like that is like, Yu is problematic levels of homophobic.
Whereas like Chung, on the other hand, is like not only homophobic, but like terribly like old-fashioned, conservative, patriarchal. Like that's his whole personality, is that he is like laughably almost backwards compared to everyone else in the story, and just being like that rigidly like misogynistic and patriarchal, where he's just like thinks he just gets the ick from it.
Yes, straight man cancer.
Yes. But what is interesting is like during the story, like someone who doesn't like him like accuses him of being gay, and he's just like, I don't fucking care, I'll think what you want. So like he doesn't have like any like, I guess that's where his apathy comes in. He doesn't really care what other people think about him. Even that's not really enough to rile him up, whereas like how you would like have a freak out episode if someone accused him of that. And he also like explicitly says that like his personal, like, ideals have nothing to do with, like, his professional ethics as a doctor. So, if Hyo-yu, like, breaks some guy's legs for being gay, he will probably, like, give that kid medical attention. No problem.
Yeah. He's like...
Yeah, so, like, that's nice at least.
Also, something to kind of note is that, like, Hyo-yu grew up with Shi Ching-chung and, like, his sister. So they're kind of like a weird family-ish, because they've known each other kind of for so long, even though there's been, like, a break in the time they've been together. And so Shi Ching-chung and Hyo-yu do speak very, like, informally together. And so that's when they're, like, when they're together is when they're at their most homophobic. But Shi Ching-chung's not at school, like, hate criming gay students.
Yes, he's very professional. He doesn't discriminate based on his own feelings of ick. But there's, like, a scene, like, towards the end of the volume where they're in a cafeteria together, like, Shi Ching-chung and Hyo-yu, and a gay couple like sits at the table next to them, and they are just like a normal couple. They like share a little like kiss on the cheek, you know, before eating, and they just like give each other a look like ugh, and they like move to like the furthest table away. Like I'm like, this is terrible. That's so funny.
It's bad. Like, oh my god.
But you know that they're going to end up being the gayest people of all. So joke's on them.
Hyo-yu's mom actually cursed him when she was like, "You're gonna marry your doctor."
Yeah, those were prophetic words. Yeah, so that's what we got to work with here. Thank you, Meat Bun.
The fuck you mean psychological Ebola?
Oh yeah, so like something both of the descriptions fail to like put on the back because it sounds insane is that the strange, mysterious mental illness, psychological disorder that Hyo-yu has is called psychological Ebola.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck does that mean? It literally means going crazy disease.
Yeah.
Like, it's incomprehensible to me. Like, I'm not a medical scientific person. I don't have any background that would help me understand this, but I don't think that that would help me. I think that would make me more confused.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, oh, yeah, if you don't remain calm and control your emotions, you could just freak out and go crazy and hurt people.
Yeah.
And I feel like, isn't that just how anyone feels? Like, wait a second. Is it me? Am I the psychological Ebola?
The psychological Ebola was the
trauma we got along the way?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what? Like, what do you think psychological Ebola is, doctor?
Yeah, I feel like it's much more than what it actually is as well. Like, there's definitely secrets. It's not only an illness, it also gives you, like, a superpower.
Yes, hence the sci-fi edge.
Yes, so it's kind of hard to explain because it's like, to the naked eye, it's like, oh, if Hyo-yu goes crazy, it's like he's like a psychopath and has like a bloodlust kind of thing. But also,
he does have this magical superpower that he gets for free from his disorder called blood toxin, which sounds almost as bad as psychological Ebola.
Yeah. Like, in the book, in volume 1, we don't ever see him go crazy. Like, does it talk about a time he went crazy?
No, well, he goes, technically, he has a flare-up towards the end. It's like partial flare-up, though. It's like not like the most crazy he can go, but it's like pretty close where he started like having those symptoms and started like self-harming and attacked Shi-Ching-chung. We kind of got a little bit of a sneak peek on what that would look like.
But like, if he had a full-on flare-up, would he just start murdering people?
Is what it sounds like, but it is a little bit hard to get a grasp on like the stakes here without seeing it firsthand. Because honestly, like, he's spent like his whole 19 years of life doing a very good job of suppressing it.
Yeah.
So it's actually a little bit hard to kind of understand, like, what's the big deal? Like, how bad could it be? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it does make me curious, like, what that will look like when he actually does lose it.
Yeah. Fellas, is it gay to not enjoy sexing your own wife?
Who could that be?
Shi-Ching-chung got a divorce, and it was because, like, they didn't have sex, right? Like
when they did, it was just bad
and he
and
like
boring.
It was like he was fulfilling his husbandly duties to fuck his wife. It wasn't because he was into it.
Yes, he's described multiple times as being apathetic to sex. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, why did you even get married?
Yeah.
He's because he thinks it's his responsibility to. Like, the woman pursued him for so many years. He's like, fine, I have to get married at some point. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And then she was like, this is awful. Goodbye.
pick up the scent of a man's hormones.
This also happens really frequently where Chung is like just sniffing in the air, and he's just like, when Hayu's adolescent hormones are just raging. This man is just a horny monster. How could he be so close to me and so hot? Not physically attractive, but like radiating pheromones off of him, heat wave wise.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've never heard of that happening unless you're like in a Omega fanfiction.
Homoerotically drinking iced coffee. Oh my god, I forgot about that scene. Please describe the iced coffee scene.
You describe the iced coffee scene.
I don't remember. Do they share a straw or something?
They're at the police station together with a bunch of other people, and Hayu is like being a bro. He like orders everyone coffee, except when he comes back with all the coffee, he's like, "Oh, Chung, I forgot coffee for you. Oh, that's so sad." He's like, "Well, you know what? I'm an old man. I don't even drink coffee at night, so haha, I don't care." He's like, no, really, I feel so bad. You can have my coffee that I already like drank out of, like. And like tries to like gay chicken him. He's like, this is so disgusting. Haha, you hate
It's like,
this, you hate
I
this.
already drank out of it, and
If you drink this now, you'll be gay. It'll
well,
be
like,
gay.
it's like if you think drinking out of this is gay, that's actually gay.
Yeah.
But
So-
if you're just a normal straight guy, we're just two guys like sharing a drink. There's nothing weird about that. But if you think it's weird, you're gay.
Yes. So they're both playing this like psychological game with each other. And Chung asserts dominance, and he just leans over and sips like from the straw out of his hand and like makes eye contact with him. And then Hayu is like, damn it!
I'm not gay at all.
Hayu's like, damn, I feel like gay somehow.
They made a genuinely not even gay concept so gay.
It was so awkward. I was at like second embarrassment like reading it. I'm like, oh my god, this is so gay. But they're so, Hayu is so wrapped up in trying to humiliate him with like gay shit, and he's just so apathetic that it's not working. And so I'm like, how far is Hayu going to go to do this? And I think we know.
We know. Shop for wedding dresses for a man while sharing a bed with said man.
Yeah, they end up also at the police station sharing like a sofa bed together, and it's a small bed, but Chung is like, I'm rolling over, going to sleep, and Hayu is like, I just want to humiliate him so badly. Oh, I just want to see him humiliated. What would be humiliated? Oh, I know, it would be so funny if he was in a dress. No, a wedding dress. No, not just a wedding dress, but like a kinky, like sexy wedding dress, you know? And so he starts Googling wedding dresses for him to wear. You know, he's like planning out his revenge, I guess, and he's just like online shopping. And then like he accidentally clicks on something with sound, and like, so Chung discovers what he's doing and is mega pissed at him, not even knowing why he's doing this. But I don't know, I just thought that was a little bit sus.
It is. And the thing that's interesting with like Hayu's obsession with humiliating Chung is because there's like that power dynamic where Chung like is his doctor, and at a time Hayu really, really respected him. But Chung also, because he's so apathetic and like Hayu is so emotional, does get the best of him in a lot of situations. So I can almost like understand how Hayu is always like, oh, I want to humiliate him so bad, because deep down I feel like Hayu is constantly kind of getting humiliated by Chung.
It's like a little bit of Ron dynamic for sure.
Yeah.
Where I think one of the big things that really explains this too is like when they first began their like doctor-patient relationship when Hayu was really young, Hayu tried to like, I don't know, like discourage him by like acting really dumb for like a few months. Like I could get this guy to quit. I just have to like act absolutely stupid. And he like did this for several months and it didn't work. And then he realized, oh my god, I've been acting stupid in front of him this entire time for nothing, and now he thinks that I'm legitimately stupid. And like, even though he like stopped doing it and like is legitimately very smart and clever and all these things, like Chung ever since then has always considered him stupid. Like he's never been able to like walk that back, and so I think he has a very large chip on his shoulder because of that.
Yeah.
Because deep down inside he knows that he can never unstupid himself in his eyes.
drunkenly mistake a man for his younger sister because of his beautiful eyes.
Peach blossom eyes.
Oh, yes. One thing Meat Bun won't let you forget is how beautiful the men in this story are.
It's true.
And this happens when Yu is having a flare-up. So he's kind of like a little bit, it's like he's kind of drunk.
He started having like too many emotions. And
Yeah.
so he's like, I know what will fix this. Tons of medication and alcohol mixed together.
Yeah.
And then Shou Chung walks in and he's in this very inebriated state of craziness. And he's like, looks like my crush. Close enough. Let's roll.
And then what happens in that scene?
He pushes Shou Chung down on the bed and is like going at it, tongue in the mouth. And he is fumbling around with those buttons and he is just going for it. And there's even definitely a point where like Shou Chung is obviously like, first he's too shocked to resist, then he starts resisting, and then
Yeah.
Yu is like, no, resistance is futile. And then he kind of forces him a little too hard, with like, he starts choking him a little bit, and then he's like, whoa, I actually do not want to do that to my crush. That is bad. I am bad. And then he feels really bad. And it's just a very awkward scene for everyone involved. And then he goes to sleep.
Yep. And what does Shou Chung do?
He goes to the other... He goes and brushes his teeth. And then
But as a doctor,
Yeah.
he understands that Yu is having an episode.
he is trying to help him the whole time, like...
He doesn't try to help him by like,
No, no,
let me kiss the poison
No.
out of you.
Like, when he sees him, he's like, you're gonna take these sedatives, you are gonna listen to me, like this is unacceptable. He is like, how dare you abuse your body like this? This is not what you should be doing when you're having a flare-up. You should be seeking assistance from professionals.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to bear this all on your own. Like, he's very much in full-on doctor mode. And so thankfully it's the sedatives that Yu took that eventually he just passes out like midway through this flare-up, saving Shou Chung.
They say no homo, they bro fist,
Yeah.
and it's all good.
Yeah, so he next morning like checks up on him and like bullies him some more. He takes the whole thing quite well. He's like, look, what happened last night? We're not going to talk about it because it doesn't count. It's literally no homo because you were being crazy. And he knows that like Yu has a crush on some girl and that he was clearly mistaken for this girl. He does not know it is his sister because I'm pretty sure he would kill him on the spot if he knew. And he's like, more importantly, you're super embarrassed right now. I don't care. You're gonna listen to me because we are gonna treat your flare up, and you're in big trouble, young man.
Yeah. But to answer the question though, fellas, is it gay too? Yes.
Yes, it is very gay.
Those are all very gay things. Oh yes. Okay, so the plot.
Oh yeah.
An incomprehensive overview, i.e., I have no idea what is important information and what is not.
Yes, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And something that I think you told me that really helped me make sense of all of this is that the sci-fi edge in the plot was supposed to be like straight up sci-fi. I think when Meat Bun like was first writing this book, she imagined it with like androids and like a sci-fi world completely, and then it was like, this is too much work to world build this, and kind of scrapped most of the sci-fi and they're all humans again. But honestly, a lot of these plot points make sense if you just imagine them as robots.
It's true.
It's true.
Yu comes from a super rich family, and he is like, he went to school overseas, and he comes back to China to specifically take the fine arts class at the university that his childhood crush, Shou Chung-chung's sister, is teaching at.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to this class, it's like film school, and I'm gonna make her fall in love with me. But Shou Chung also works at that school.
And is cock blocking him every step of the way.
Yeah. Like, a lot of it takes place, like, at the university kind of thing.
Yeah, so there's kind of this weird little love story going on that's very normal. And then on top of that, we have, like, some mysteries. And they are kind of all involving, like, the themes of, like, mental illness and how society views mental illness. And also kind of these problems with social media, mob mentality, and stuff like that, which is all very interesting.
And so what actually happens in the book that gets things rolling is Shou Chung is going on a blind date, but it's because people are like worried about him, right?
Yes,
he doesn't
has,
want
like,
to
an
go on
auntie.
a date.
He has an auntie who's like, you know, you need to like remarry, you need to settle down so I don't worry about you. And he's like as a man, it is my responsibility to take care of everyone around me and make no one worry. what I want does not matter. So he's just going on all of these like matchmaking dates to pacify her.
Yes. Shou Chung is walking with his blind date out of his date.
Yes, and it's gone terribly. She's awful. She's only concerned with wealth and wants to be an influencer. And this homeless man comes up to her because he's a little confused and he thinks that she's his daughter. And so he's like, oh my god, I finally found you, my daughter. And she reacts horribly. She's like, ew, disgusting. Turns her camera on him and starts live streaming and like construing it as like this crazy homeless man is like sexually harassing me, instead of this like poor man who's just like, you know, feeling like humiliated and scared and confused, and he like tries to run away from her and she is chasing him, and Shou Chung is like, absolutely not, like, you know, is trying to get her to stop, but the poor man has a heart attack from just like the insane situation and pressure he's under. And then it becomes an emergency. Like, Shou Chung is, like, trying to administer first aid. There's, like, a huge crowd around. There's a bridge down. They can't get an ambulance. And it's, like, a huge emergency. What's going to happen to this man? Yu rolls up in his fancy car with Shui in, like, the passenger seat. Actually, I don't think he's driving. He has, like, a chauffeur.
Yeah.
And they're like, no problem. We'll take the man and his dog to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, which was really surprised me because Yu seems like a very selfish person. But I think what becomes quickly revealed is he does have an empathy for people like him. Like, when he does see someone who is ostracized by society for mental illness, he is like, they're bros with me.
Yep.
Pulling out all the stops for this guy.
Did Shou Chung call Yu?
Or
Or did he call Shui? Or was it literally chance that they were driving this way?
It was just coincidence.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah. Yu is like, get out of the car, chauffeur, I'll drive, because I'm like initial D speed racer.
Yes.
Shou Chung makes a few snide comments about his driving, but they get the man to the hospital and like take care of him, and he's still like very confused, and so like Shui like kind of like acts as his daughter for a little bit to get him to calm down, and that kind of like leads to like the next part of the plot where like, which takes place at a psychiatric hospital where they help the old man like get into so that he can get some help and stuff, finding his daughter and whatnot.
So the hostage situation at the Chung Kang Psychiatric Hospital reveals the most fucked up story of abuse I've ever read. Me too. Like,
this is where I think a lot of content warnings come into play.
But like, this story is so fucked up. Like, first off, you come across a woman who was like disembodying a corpse.
Yeah.
And you're like,
oh my god, she's crazy. She's mentally ill.
Yeah, it's like a mentally ill person got loose and fucking murdered someone.
Yes,
It's like,
and she pretended to be the man she murdered, like, who was like the head of the hospital, and like takes Shui hostage, and you're thinking, oh my god, this is terrible. And of course, Yu and Shou Chung like show up and they are trying to save her, but then the story comes out about like who she actually is and how she's been living for the past 10-20 years.
And so the guy that she murdered was like her attending like physician. And it turns out that while she was staying at this mental hospital, he had like a secret like rape dungeon and would bring her down there and like beat the shit out of her and rape her and take pictures of her. And the room is like filled with all the photos. And there was also another girl that they were doing it to.
A very young girl.
And it was these two doctors.
They were brothers.
Yeah, and so she eventually, like, schemed a plan and, like, murdered him. And so then once you read that part, you're like, fuck yeah!
Like,
you
yeah,
know?
girl, you keep dismembering him. But, like, just like I support women's rights and women's wrongs. And in this instance, that is a woman's right.
Yes.
I think, but what's, like, really haunting and horrifying, too, is just, like, it goes into, like, the absolute scope of the abuse. This wasn't just, like, something horrific that happened to her, like, a handful of times. It was, like, every day for, like, over 10 years.
Yeah.
And in order for her to, like, plan her escape and revenge, she intentionally acted dumb and more crazy than she was in order for him to let his guard down around her. And so she subjected herself to, like, even more abuse just so that he would give her this opportunity, thinking that she was stupid.
Yeah, he left a key, and she, like, playing dumb, was like, oh, doctor, like, you left your key here, right?
Yeah.
So that he would be even more careless around her because it's like, oh, she's so dumb, she wouldn't even know if I did slip up. But then when he slipped up, she took advantage of it.
Yeah. So, and what's also hard too is like, this wasn't entirely a secret. Like, definitely, like, the security guards knew that it was happening and didn't say anything. There were some people who were in the dark about it, but it was because, like, the doctor told everyone, she's crazy, she's manipulative, she's like a master manipulator, like, don't believe anything she says, don't spend any time with her, don't talk to her. So, like, he intentionally created this, like, isolation around her so that she would not be able to receive help, even though there were multiple people also complicit in him doing bad things.
Yeah. So then she's like, I'm gonna torch the place and blow it up.
Right?
And He Yu and Shi Chung and Shi Shui are like trying to prevent as many deaths as possible. And that's when He Yu's superpower is revealed.
Yes.
Which is like, it's honestly kind of just like, what?
Yeah. You're in the, like, the place is on fire. He Yu is going back into the burning building to, like, help free, like, there's tons of, like, people, like, trapped in, like, their cells, unable to get out, and, like, the firefighters, the hospital staff, at some point are, like, unwilling to go save them. And there's kind of the idea that, oh, they're not worth risking our lives for, like, to free. Like, they, you know, if they go up in fire and flames, that's just too bad because they are mentally ill. And you're like, oh, God. He Yu's like, not on my crazy watch.
Yeah.
He goes back in there. Shi Chung, like, goes after him, and then it's revealed that He Yu can use his blood to control other people's minds and make them obedient.
If they are also mentally ill.
Yes, which is very specific.
So he, like, does he cut his hand open?
He cuts his hand.
And then, like, touches one of them and gives her, like, the keys and is like, go unlock all the doors. And then she's like, got it.
And so, like, he's like gives like the orders, so and then give the other person keys and tell them to do the same thing. And so, like, through that system, he's able to, like, get everyone out safely.
Yeah.
Which is great. Like, that's, like, dozens and dozens of people saved.
But you're also kind of like, that is the most random power ever. Okay.
And this is, like, his power, by the way, is a complete secret that, like, not even Shi Chung knew about. At all. And so that's when he finds out about it. And He Yu's like, if you tell anyone, I will fucking kill you. And you're like, okay. Okay. And Shi Chung is like, kill me then, I don't fucking care. But he's not gonna tell anybody.
In this scene, I think Shi Chung also takes his shirt off, which is important.
It's important to me.
Right?
Yes, it is. Because Meatbun makes sure to tell us that shirtless Shi Chung is distracting everyone at this horrific scene of tragedy. Like, all of, like, the firefighters and nurses who show up, okay, mostly, like, the female nurses and stuff who show up, and hospital staff, they're all just like, never mind the burning corpses around me. Look at that man's chest.
Okay, so that's that arc.
That's that, yep.
And then Shi Chung and He Yu get trapped on Love Island together.
Yeah, so back to, like, the normal plot.
It's like, oh, we just returned to university and live normally after that terrible experience together.
Yep. And He Yu is kind of pulling some really unethical moves to get, like, Shi Shui on this little island on campus.
It's like a little romantic getaway.
Yeah. There's just a little island in the middle of the lake, and he's, like, rigged it up with, like, another student, paid him off with, like, thousands of dollars to just get him on this island with Shi Shui. Bridge cut, no boats coming to save them until after midnight.
Doesn't he also block the cell service?
Oh yeah, by the way, we learn in this little arc that He Yu is, like, a top tier hacker, which only makes sense if he was an android originally. He just randomly has this, like, epic skill of hacking, and so he uses these, like, wireless cell signal blockers so that once they're on the island, they cannot call for help.
Yeah. So it's really fucked up how conniving this plan was for him to get Shi Shui alone.
This is like girl's worst nightmare.
But
he just wants to confess his love to her.
Yeah, like,
I don't know what he was thinking, because if she says no, this is gonna be mega awkward.
Yeah, the thing that, like, I don't want to get across, it's like, it's not like he was planning to, like, assault her.
No,
like,
no, his love for her actually seems very pure.
Yeah.
If anything, like, he just kind of thinks she's a little bit dumb, but in an endearing way.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he kind of teases her a lot and calls her stupid, which is the only thing I'm like, why do you like her? But she's very nice, and he thinks really highly of her, mostly, and, like, actually seems to have, like, really pure-hearted feelings for her, which I think is interesting because he knows that her brother thinks that he's incapable of love, and that he's definitely not mature enough to have a relationship, and so it is really interesting to see kind of, like, Seo Ching-chung, who doesn't believe in love, he thinks it's just, like, your chemicals firing in your brain, versus Heo, who does believe in love and, like, experiences it in, like, this really pure way, despite having kind of, interesting tendencies to not behave normally.
Yeah. So he sets this whole thing up, but a part of it was that he knew that Shi Shui was gonna be dressed up as a mascot for this, like, school event, and so he was gonna, like, pick her up after she was doing her mascot thing and, like, get her to go on the boat with him. But the thing is that Seo Ching-chung actually ended up doing her a solid and was the mascot that day. So Heo was like, oh, come on, mascot guy, come into the boat with me, and it's Seo Ching-chung, and it's not Shi Shui.
So he ends up on the island, ropes are cut, the boat is gone. Finally, you know, he, after, like, shit-talking Seo Ching-chung for, like, a little bit, he turns around and the mascot heads off, and it's his worst nightmare.
And it's Seo Ching-chung. Because why does Seo Ching-chung go along with it for so long?
I think he's, like, trying to cover for Shi Shui. Like, he's, like,
Oh,
trying
like,
to...
no one's supposed to know that it's not Shi Shui.
Yeah. Also, I feel like he's thinking, like, I'm not gonna get stuck on island. I just have to, like, ignore him and, like...
And I can take the boat back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't even want to interact with them, so this works great. He just remains silent in the mascot suit. But that doesn't work, and so now they're stuck on an island together.
And, like, also, like Seo Ching-chung is, like, kind of grossed out by sex stuff, right? And there's, like, graffiti on the inside of the cave that's about, like... Wait, no, they find... Is it a book? Or
yes,
is it...
Yes!
Okay, they're in the cave, and there's, like, a storm or something, too, right?
I guess they must have sought shelter in the cave.
Yeah. They're on the Love Island. They go into this little cave. It's, like, so romantic.
This is, like, make-out point for, like, the students on campus.
Yes. And so they find this, like, book that's in there.
It's a burn book.
And in the book, students have written down, like, teachers and stuff that, like, they want to fuck.
Yep, and this is where they learn who is considered the top and bottom. Because everyone has, like, there's, like, a gay little chat page in the book, and it's like, yeah, I want to fuck Heo so bad. He's such a little bratty bottom, I can just tell. And Seo Ching-chung, man, he's just such a sexy man. I just want him to top me. I wouldn't get up for a week, but it would be worth it. Like, it's like, and it's like absolutely raunchy stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they both hate it, and they burn the book.
They burn the book. But then, don't they also have mango cake?
Yes, because Heo was like, this is gonna be a cute little confession. So, like, I brought, like, this yummy little treat that I know that Shi Shui would like. And they eat it in the cave because they have nothing left. They have nothing else to eat. But Seo Ching-chung is extremely deathly allergic to mango. And so afterwards, he ends up in the hospital, and he's, like, half convinced that Heo did this on purpose. He didn't. He absolutely did not try to hurt him. He, like... It's just so random, though. What the fuck do you mean you're allergic to mango?
Yeah, like, did anything come up that, like, in the hospital afterwards? Like, did anything gay happen?
We get, like, kind of introduced to Chen Man a little bit more. Like, Chen Man's, like, going with him to the hospital. And
Oh, okay, well, we gotta talk about that.
Yeah.
You know who's introduced because of this is this other man who is absolutely in love with Shi Ching-chung, who is, like, this, like, doting police officer, Chen Man. Mm-hmm. Like, he takes his jacket off and gives it to him, like, make sure he always gets his drinks.
He's
and
calling him Ga.
Yeah, like, this man is, like, smitten.
He's smitten. And, like, he doesn't smoke, but he always has cigarettes on him. And, like, Seo Ching-chung, like, thinks it's because, like, oh, other police officers smoke and he's just being a bro. I'm positive it's because Seo Ching-chung smokes.
Oh, yeah.
And he steals cigarettes off of Chen Man, and it's just...
And so is Chen Man taking care of him at the hospital, and is Heo like...
Heo kind of, like, shows up, like, what the fuck are you doing at the hospital? And he's just like, no reason. And then he sees this police officer and he's like, who's this hot police officer you're with? Like, I'm feeling a little jealous for irrational reasons I cannot comprehend. Like,
Then, Yu finds out Shishui likes another guy and goes crazy.
like that is his final straw. He figures out that she like wrote the guy a love letter, and this guy is also like lame. Like, he's pretty and he comes from a wealthy family, but he's like the lamer version of Yu.
Yeah.
Like, he's like a notorious playboy cad. Like, he's not good at academics at all. He's just kind of using his family's money to coast by and get through school without doing anything. So it's like the absolute worst person she could possibly like.
In his opinion.
And also like another student at the school. So it's like, girl, you are a teacher. Get it together. Like,
Yu is so upset that Shishui likes this lame guy. There's like an opportunity at a school to act in this web drama because it's like a film school. So he's like, I'm going away to act in this thing, and I'm gonna be like off campus for a while.
Shishui like went on a school trip elsewhere, and I think it was honestly, like, I think the boy she liked was going on that trip too or something. And Yu purposely stayed back and didn't go on that trip to do this acting thing so he could like not be with her and not see her.
Right.
Because he was going through it.
But she still bought him some pastries, and so she asks, hey, Shi-Ching-Chung, can you go deliver these pastries to Yu on his little film thing? Because it's sad that he didn't get to come with us to the other trip. And Shi-Ching-Chung says yes, not only to deliver the pastries, but also because he's a little bit sus, because he thinks Yu might be having another flare-up. So he goes to check on him.
Yes. And they have some back and forth, and Yu is pretending to be fine, and Shi-Ching-Chung is like not letting it go. He's not really buying it, and so they stay the night at the same hotel, and he finally goes to like check up on him again, and goes into his hotel room, and that's when Yu is having like mega like drugs and alcohol and craziness all combined, and is really going through it, and has kind of an emotional breakdown too, of just like having all these feelings, trying to push away help. And then Shi-Ching-Chung, like, even though he is like an apathetic person, is very upset when he sees Yu like kind of throwing away reason and behaving in irresponsible ways. He's like, you're not supposed to hurt yourself, you're not supposed to like, you know, behave this way and abuse like these substances, and you should be like seeking help for feelings, and like you should, you should know that, like, yeah, you're not responsible enough for a relationship, but this is how you're going to act, and you just need to calm down and get through life. And he has this kind of perspective. We know that Shi-Ching-Chung, like, lost his parents, like, who were police officers when he was young, and had to take on a lot of responsibility at a young age. And he has this mentality that, like, no matter how much you're grieving, you just have to, like, get through it. You just have to get through it and keep living. And so he has this like personal philosophy on life, and he's just trying to get Yu to like accept that too, instead of being so emotional.
Yes. And is that when they kiss?
Yes, that's when Yu kind of loses his senses and kisses him.
Right. Then we do have written on here, Chen Man low-key kind of gay.
Yeah.
So what happens there?
Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit with the
mango incident.
Yeah, kind of post-mango incident, but also like they go and visit Chen Man's brother's grave together, and they run into some people that Shi-Ching-Chung knows, and they assume that they're gay.
Right.
Yeah, and Chen Man is like so upset, but also like, we're gay. Oh no, is that awful? Is that so awful? Would you hate that?
Yeah.
No, like he's really upset for Shi-Ching-Chung, and he's just like, I don't fucking care, bro. They can think what they want. They already hate me.
Yeah.
He's really upset about that. Then Chen Man and meets Yu and Shi-Ching-Chung together, like kind of returning something to him, and the three of them together are like Yu and Chen Man are like sussing each other out, like, what are you doing with my man, sort of situation. And yeah, you definitely know that Chen Man has the hots for Chen Chang.
Yeah, and Hoyu hates that.
Hoyu hates that so much.
And the last point of the plot here is there is a secret evil organization.
I cannot stress this enough. It feels so random. And I don't know quite how it fits into the events that have happened thus far. I know they connect, but there are like maybe like 2 or 3 random scenes where it's just like, and suddenly we are in a random location with random people. The people are evil and mysterious and plotting things.
Yeah, it does kind of cut to like an exterior, like,
Villain's lair.
we got him.
Yes,
kind of thing.
thing.
But there's also like, there are hints, like the intrigue of what happened to Xi Chang's parents. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's a mystery that has yet to be solved. Like, his parents randomly like blew up.
Yeah, in a car, mysteriously.
Yeah. So there's something going on.
It is connected. Yeah. I don't know how yet. It just feels a little bit...
Even the stuff with the hospital was also connected.
It's definitely connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's mysterious documents, there's mysterious people connect... Like, everything's secretly tied together and also secretly tied to the campus as well. So that's very much going to be where, like, a lot of plot stuff happens in the future as well, I think. Mm-hmm. So, right now, we just know that there is an evil lady in heels and a man.
Yeah. But most importantly, they're both really hot. Really hot.
All meatball noses. Don't worry, guys. They're hot.
We were kind of discussing this earlier, and we were saying that Meatbun wrote Arha with her heart, and she wrote Casefile with her pussy.
And I love that for her. Okay, another thing though, I thought was like actually hilarious in this book is like anytime there is food involved, Meatbun goes all out. There will be like several paragraphs just talk about how juicy and delicious and decadent like the street food is or the meal is, and I can just tell she really was hungry when she was writing that. Or just really enjoys food. Mm-hmm. It's so funny. You'll just be like in the middle of a serious scene and just be like, meat. True to her name.
It's true.
Delicious, juicy.
Oh,
the chef was chefing. Mm-hmm. Someone cooked here. Literally. Let me tell you all about it.
Oh my god. And so that is volume 1. And shit gets fucking crazier. Shit gets way more problematic. And like they do fuck. And it's like not romantic. It's very problematic.
Hoyu is crazy and
like
Ching Chung doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, it's very against his will. Let's just say that. But there are many reveals and intriguing things about their relationship that make you retroactively be like, okay.
I think Meatbun's works really, I think what we can appreciate about her as an author is that she is not afraid to write about really challenging themes or really dark relationships or things that just wouldn't occur in any other situation than purely in fiction.
Yeah.
And she's really passionate about exploring things in fiction that just aren't realistic in real life and that are meant to be treated as fiction.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's just important to keep in mind with Meatbun is that there will be dark themes, there will be uncomfortable topics, and she just dives in headfirst with that because, hey, they could be androids.
Oh my god. Yeah, pretty much.
You get uncomfortable, just remember they could be androids.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for another danmei book club. If you guys liked this video and you'd like to help support my channel, consider clicking join to learn more about my YouTube membership. Every Friday at 7 p.m. PST, we hang out and we play danmei-related games together, like Pictionary, and right now we're watching Scum Villain, and it's a ton of fun, and it's a great way to help support my channel. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!